Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for another video, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're going to do things a little bit differently. It's not going to be cooking, it's not going to be gardening. We are actually going to do a deep clean in the kitchen. There's going to be some changes, some updates. You can already see we got a new oven. If you remember, if you were here, you saw our Thanksgiving video. The oven broke down while I had the turkey in the oven. I will show you a clip of that. I have a full transparency moment for you guys. So, I'm going to give you a look of my kitchen because as the turkey was in the oven, my oven broke and it didn't cook at all. So I got it into a neighbor's oven, and it's going to be ready in a few minutes. I had an errand to run. And this is what my kitchen is looking now when I came back in. Okay. I have dishes. Not even all from today. Today I didn't make such a big mess, but yeah. My oven is pulled out. Can you even tell? It's been pulled out. Stuff all over on the floor. What happened is that my igniter stopped working. And it stopped working one too many times and too close together. And we replaced the igniter after this. After this clip, we had ordered an igniter. It arrived a couple days later. We changed it. But I couldn't risk having it not turn on me again, because the igniter that turned off on this day had lasted me 2 months. So it was time to just say goodbye to this oven, replace it with an old oven. It served us well, and that's it. I'm happy for the opportunity to be able to buy a new one and learn how to cook and bake with that one, because I know that every single oven is different. So yeah, it was time to replace it. We finally got a replacement. There are some little repairs I'm going to show you that need to happen around here, and some deep cleaning that really needs to happen. I'll show you all the dark, dirty spots in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and I'll show you all that. So the first thing we had done, actually not the first is the oven that we replaced. But the next thing we had done, first repair, is that on the back side of my island, I had a panel that fell off, and I had it just leaning up there against the island. I had my brother-in-law come over. He has a nail gun, and he installed it for us, along with some super glue I think he used. We also had a kick plate that had fallen off. This is also on the island, the side to the window, so we don't really see it, but he installed it the same way with a nail gun and the super glue. And so far, they're holding up beautifully. Now, before I go ahead and show you all the dirty corners in this kitchen, I am first going to wash the dishes. It's been a day or two of cooking that I didn't do dishes, so the sinks are full, both of them. So we're going to go through and wash the dishes. For those of you that are new here, I keep a kosher kitchen. So what that means for you today, as you see it, is that I have 2 sinks. One is for meat, one is for dairy. And if you are gonna stay here or you've been here and you've seen if you've seen any of my cooking videos, you may have realized that I cook slightly different, because when I'm cooking with meat or chicken, I will not use any dairy products like butter or heavy cream. So we gotta work around all those type of things when I'm making, let's say, a chicken pot pie. I made that last week, so it's on my mind. And there's no pork. Fish is very limited. It's what types of fish I can eat. I mean, I don't feel limited, but according to what fish is out there. So yeah, so I'm gonna start first by washing the dishes, clearing the counters, and then we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you what needs to get deep cleaned. Okay, so now that we've done the dishes, put it away, and I have it ideally how I would have my kitchen every night, and it doesn't absolutely not happen. I'll be honest with you. Let's show you the things that we need to work on, the things that we need to deep clean. So number one is on the counter over here. This is a rust stain. My cast iron skillet was by mistake left here. Water got under it and it caused the rust stain. So we're going to work on this. I have to deep clean the sink. Now I do have some chicken in here defrosting for tonight's dinner. But over here there's like a little indent all around. And like all these things, they accumulate. And we're going to work on that. And I mean, this is still full of food, but under that it's very dirty. So we're going to get rid of that, clean that out. Basically just deep clean the sink. Just wipe down the counters. It's been a little while. I didn't deep clean it. Same thing with the backsplash. It's been a while. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it has like water splashes and stains. Some dirt up here. This is by the oven. And it has oil splatters, if you can spot that. Like over here. I don't know if you can see it. The hood itself is very dirty. Dust and oil needs to be wiped down as well. Yeah, can you see that? Very dirty. I'm gonna work on that. And over here, same thing. We're gonna wipe down the counters with a nice deep clean, the backsplash, the sink, the same thing, all that goop and goo in that space over there. And then over here in the coffee corner, I know that this tray is dirty and it needs to be washed down as well. And something this side. Yeah, all the cabinets have like handprints, like the grease from the hands, like the oil, and we have to wash that down. This one probably will be hard to get on camera. Yeah, you can see a little bit. The fingerprints on the fridge will be wiped down. Same with the cabinets up here. They also have these stains. I'll show you how I clean them, because this took a while to figure out how to clean because of this matte material. I'm gonna also wipe down the bottoms just because it needs to be done. Oh, over here. Okay, the garbage needs to be taken out. But in my drawer over here, I have an extra space that is the junk drawer. Everyone has one. But the face of it over here is so dirty from all the garbage, and it constantly has to be washed down. We'll do that. The wall over here needs to be wiped and washed. This that came with the oven has to be put away. And I think the island otherwise is fine. Oh, I didn't show you guys yet, but we got our first egg from our chickens. Very exciting to taste it and try it. Trying to think what else. If there's anything else that I'll be doing, I'll show you guys. So let's start with that roasting over there. There's two methods that we're going to try. And the first method will be that we're going to try baking soda, water, making a paste, applying it, letting it sit. Let me add some water. Got a spatula out. We're going to let it sit and soak the stain. And then we're going to wipe it down and see if it worked. If not, we have another method to try. It's quite a gloopy paste, liquidy paste. Well, let's see, I'm going to spread it out here. Probably needed more, I underestimated how much I'll need. Okay, we're going to let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now while we're waiting for this to dry, let me move you guys and turn you around. We're going to work on counters, sinks, and this part of the backsplash. So I'm going to use Soft Scrub. The company that I got the counters from, that's what they said to use. Soft Scrub with bleach. Nothing with citrus. So that's what we're using. And yeah, I find that once I have that out, I just like doing the backsplash with that too, and I use it for the sink as well. Get my sponge out. I'm going to have to work on this side of the counter once we got the rust stain off, or the most that we were able to remove it. I'm hoping that it works. It looks like it's already lifting the color, so let's wait and see. This seems empty. Let me go get another one. I have more. Okay, attempt number 2. There we go. So the way that I deep clean my counters and backsplash is that I get some soap scrub on the countertop. I get my sponge nice and wet, and I start rubbing and diluting that soap scrub. And as I'm rubbing it, it all suds up, and I'll be able to stretch it for the entire surface that I'm working with. And I am going to use that same sponge, maybe get it a little wet again, and do the backsplash. Once I'm done scrubbing the surface that I am doing, and as you may have seen, I also do the counters that are inside of the sink. That also needs to be washed. So once I am done with that, I am going to get the soap scrub, or most of the soap scrub, out of the sponge, and I'm going to start wiping down my surface. And then I remembered that I have a squeegee to do most of my wiping down, so I grabbed that, and I'm using that for the rest of the counter. But I still use the sponge for the front of the countertop, right above the cabinets, and for the backsplash. The squeegee doesn't really work for those surfaces. Okay, I'm realizing that I shouldn't really be doing the sink until I'm done with the stain over here. So now that this counter over here is done and this part of the backsplash, we just wipe everything down to get rid of the water. I think we're going to move over to that side, work on that counter and sink, and then we'll come back here. And let me show you what this is looking like. It looks like the stain is lifting. So we're gonna let it do its thing for another few minutes. Okay. So I'm gonna start this way, work my way that way. I'm gonna move things aside. So like, if you didn't see my last video, my last one before, the baked goods that we made, biscotti, and this one was white chocolate mocha latte cookies. Really good. And I like having some sourdough sandwich bread, which this I made yesterday. It's been probably a year since I showed you guys a bunch of sourdough products that we made together. And I think it was the first time then that I made this sandwich bread, and it's been in my freezer, in my kitchen since then. I think I only bought a loaf of bread once from the grocery store since then. So we're enjoying this. And I'm actually working on another sourdough video for you guys. So if you want to see that, be on the lookout for that. This actually has some stains on it too, so I think we're going to wipe this down as well. Gonna leave it here. So everything that's in there can use a wipe down too, but I'm going to start with the counter first. This over here, I keep some lip balms in here, which I can actually use. Feels so much better. And I've been keeping my hand lotion down here too, so that I can apply it after I use a lot of water in the kitchen. Especially now in the winter, my hands get so dry. So like I said, first thing we're going to do is the counter itself. So we're going to move this aside too. And we're going to come down. We're going to come back to washing all this. Let's turn the water on. Got my squeegee. This side of the kitchen I'm going to clean the same way I did the other countertop. With a soft scrub, the sponge, scrub it all, wipe down. I'm also going to clean the wall, not just the bottom where the garbage splatters reach, but also the wall that backs up to the coffee corner, because there's also splatters over there as well. As I was cleaning, I noticed those, so we're doing that as well. And I'm going to show you in a moment how I do the sinks. So now for our coffee station, I'm going to start by washing the tray first. Like that, as we get stuff clean, we can get that straight onto the tray. This towel is not completely dry. It's good enough for the countertops. But for this, I want to get it as dry as possible. Now, I'm going to hold on to this. Maybe I'll use it for something else. It's still pretty dry. Now, for the rest of these things, they are pretty clean. So I'm just going to wipe them down with my Clorox wipes just to get it nice and shiny, I guess. That is so much better. Just wonder how I can get into the edges. I don't know if you can see. Still a little bit of dirt there. Let me get a Q-tip. And it looks like it's just dust, so I'm just gonna wet the tip of the Q-tip and run it along the edge. And yes, that is working. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's wipe it down. Beautiful. Yes, absolutely. That worked perfectly. I think we should go check on the rust stain. See how that is going? Actually, no, let me do this first. And then I know that this side of the counter is done. This can go away for now. If we need it again, we'll pull it out again. I believe the splatters on this water urn is from silver polish. Once when one of our silver pieces were polished, it splattered, I guess, and it's right on there, and it was never wiped down. So I just used my sponge that had some residual soap scrub on it, and it came off just with one wipe, and I wiped down the, I don't know what to call it, the tray part or the part that has the heating plate. I wiped that down as well because I had a bunch of this water stains. And I used the same sponge and I wiped it down. I think I'm gonna have to make sure that nobody uses this next few hours, because it did get some water in the electrical parts, but it should dry in no time. It's not too wet. It's not like it was immersed in water or just like I held it there for a long time. Just a little bit. Plug this back in. No, as a reminder. I'm not plugging it back in. Okay, let's go check on that rust stain. Okay, this looks like it did a pretty good job. Wipe this down. Should I have massaged it in? I don't think it'll do anything at this point, so let's go on to method number 2. So the second thing that we're going to try is the Barkeeper's Friend, specifically this liquid version, the soft cleanser. It's my first time using it, so it says shake well before using, wet surface or damp sponge, do not over apply, rinse thoroughly within 1 minute of application, then wipe dry. Okay, really I should be testing this, but we're just going to go for it because what can happen? I guess we'll find out. So my surface is wet over here. Oh, this is working. We're just going to have to do it in batches. Wow. Yes. Okay, let's rinse this. Okay, definitely did something. So let's do this again. Look at that. I am happy to have this in with my cleaning supplies now. I mean, I'm hoping that this doesn't happen again. But this is amazing. I've heard people talking about this. The Barkeeper's Friend. I never tried it, but wow. I mean, I can still see a little hint of it, of color here. I don't know if it's coming up on camera. I can see a little bit of it, but I think I don't want to do too many layers. I don't want to apply the Barkeeper's Friend too many times at once. So we'll leave it for now, and next time I do a deep clean, I can do this again and see if we can get rid of more. So now we're going to get to cleaning this side of the counter with a soft scrub, the backsplash over here, and the sink. Let's do this. I'm going to move you guys so I can clean under you. This little counter and backsplash, I'm doing the same thing that I did before, so we're going to skip right ahead. I don't have to show you the same thing over again for the third time. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking the tougher side of the sponge and I'm going underneath the slab of counter. This is quartz. I feel like all the dirt that I showed you that accumulates under there, I feel like a lot of it is stuck to the underside of the counter. And when I get to the sink, I'll do it the other way around so that I can get the top of the sink as well. I forgot that while I'm doing the countertops, I like to do the faucet too. Because this part over here makes a mess on the counter. Like this, I'm getting off any soft scrub that is on the side of the countertop. I'm not doing the sink yet. You know what? Now that I've done the Barkeeper's Friend over here, the soft scrub, one run of it helped it too. So I feel like eventually it'll be gone completely just from regular cleaning it. It does have a little bit of a hint of yellow to it, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's do the sink now. Oh, so I actually want to do this too. I'm going to do it together with the sink, but let me get rid of any scraps in here. Now I can clean this out properly. Now you can see that there's a lot of discoloration. And that just happens just from not doing a deep clean every single time that I wipe down the sink. So for the sink, I'm technically using the same method that I did for the counter, where with a wet sponge, I'm going to drizzle some soft scrub into the sink, and I am going to scrub everything. I'm going to pay special attention to anywhere that's chrome to get rid of any discoloration. There's a lot of dirt caked onto the sink at this time, so wherever I find anything, then I rub that area extra well as well. And like I said before, now I'm gonna go around in there and scrape down any dirt over there as well. I'm also gonna scrub down the water cup that we use to wash our hands. I'm gonna use the same sponge because I have it out and it needs to get washed out as well. And the soft scrub actually works really well to get rid of any water stains. Now for this, I see it's cleaning it. The dirt is coming off. I hope that this lasts the lifetime of the sink because the drain is very deep and this is very deep, and I feel like it would be very hard to find a replacement if this one was to break. Let's see if we did a good job. Turn the water on, rinse everything off. Okay, so let me show you why I go under there. Because as I'm rinsing, I'm not focusing on what you guys can see right now. But you can see like little dirt coming out. The dirt that I loosened is coming out. So that's why I keep going over the same spots again and again to make sure that we get everything out of there. Look at the difference. You can see the difference. Wow, this was so necessary. I had neglected it for such a long time. Now sometimes I will wipe out the sink after I rinse it. Sometimes I won't. But today I'm gonna wipe down the quartz and I'm gonna go in here and wipe this. I'm like bunching it up and getting it into that little gap. It's not really a gap, it's just that the sink drops out as you saw. Now I'm gonna wipe down everything that I keep on the counter in the corner over here. And I just realized I forgot to put some things back by the coffee station. So let's do that. Okay, now that we got everything back in place, we're going to do this sink, this counter, the backsplash, and the backsplash over the oven. So just like before with this sink and backsplash, and I'm doing like the little space, the counter between the sink and the oven. I didn't do that countertop yet, so we're going to clean that the same way that we did all the other counters and the other sink and the other sections of backsplash. The only thing that's slightly different is, which is not really different, is the backsplash behind the oven, where I have to quickly rinse it and wipe it down because otherwise all that soap and water is going to run down behind the oven. Versus when I'm working with the backsplash by the countertops, they all just pull off the counter and then I can use the squeegee to get rid of it. So I have to work a little bit faster when I'm doing that little section. But otherwise, it's just like the rest of the kitchen. Let me bring you guys over there because this sink you can see a lot more what I mean with the dirt coming out, and hopefully the camera can pick it up. You see this over here? I don't know if you can see it. Obviously, I only picked up the camera at the very end, and it didn't have a lot in that corner. It's mostly in the actual corners that happens. Very odd, but that's what it is. Actually, before I put the sponge away, we're going to wipe down this hand soap. Oh, this towel is so wet. Can't even wipe. I mean, it's getting rid of extra moisture, but it's so wet itself. I think I'll get a paper towel out again. It's not worth it to take out another towel at this point. Okay, so it is getting close to dinner time, so I'm going to take a break now. And maybe I'll come back later tonight and do the fronts of the counters, of the cabinets, and the garbage drawer. And I remembered a few more things that I wanted to maybe do. I don't know what I'll get to do, and I don't know what I'll get to include in the video, but let me show you what else I have. Okay, so this might be a little bit hard to see because of the light, which this is under my top cabinets. And over here, it can get kind of dirty. Like, I don't know if, yeah, you can see a little bit. The whole thing over here. Oh, I forgot I said I'm going to do the hood as well. We'll have to do that later. And over here, this one is way dirtier. Look at that. This is like forgotten usually. So every so often I like to go through and wipe that down. Another thing that I want to do is on the new oven, there was a sticker over here and it's sticky, and down here as well. So I'm gonna have to use glue gun. I'll pick the camera back up once we get back to it. Now I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna have some water. Needs a refill, and we'll see you again soon. It is now way later the same day. It's after dinner, after bedtime. The house is quiet again, and I can get back to the deep clean. And like I said in the beginning, like when I showed you the kitchen after I did the dishes, that's how my kitchen should ideally look. But as you can see, even after deep cleaning my counters and sinks, an hour later I made dinner and there's dishes again. This is just the reality of a working kitchen. And I pride myself in having homemade, delicious food for my family and for any guests that walk into my house. Whenever. I'd rather have delicious, fresh food, or not even always fresh, just delicious food ready versus having that clean kitchen. So, like, I feel like the guests especially, they feel a lot more welcome in my house when it's not a sparkling clean kitchen. And I've had people come in and comment, oh, your house is always so clean. And when I come back with like, oh, but look, this is not, and that's not, and this is, look at that mess over there, and look at my kitchen needs a deep clean, and all these type of things, they're like, oh, I didn't even notice. So that's the honest truth. Nobody notices these things. It's only the people that are in the space that will see it. The people that walk by and like pop in, they don't see it. So I have to make this as a mental note for myself that when I see the kitchen messy and it needs a deep clean, it should be for myself. It should not be for the people that are just coming into my house as guests, and because they're not gonna mind it, they won't see it, and they're just coming for the people, for the vibe, for the food, and that's it. And that's what I can provide regardless of what my space looks like. And so the night's work, I'm starting off with wiping down the cabinet fronts. So with the top cabinet specifically, we didn't struggle, but every so often we had to update what we did. So when we first had this kitchen installed, I used to clean it with my Clorox wipes, and everything came off and it was beautiful. After a while, that stopped working for us. So we started using our all purpose cleaner that I use for just like walls around the house and for chairs and tables and windows and like, well, like furniture, like an all purpose cleaner. And it worked for this too. Like I would use that with paper towels or just a cloth and it would come off. And again, after a while, that stopped working. So for now, the last thing that has been working for us is using the dish soap. It is great at removing the natural body oils that leave a residue on the cabinets after a while. It's great at removing any splashes from cooking, any just dirt and dust that accumulates. And this has been working great for us. So I wipe it down with the dish soap and then with a wet sponge to get rid of that soap residue, and then a final wipe down to dry it off. And it does still have some streaks after drying, but you have to let it dry completely. This especially because of the type of material that it is. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do all of my top cabinets, and on the other side I'm going to do my pantry as well because that is the same material as these top cabinets. The bottom cabinets I do differently because it's a different type of material, the cabinet fronts. Actually, those are drawer fronts mostly. Now, while I have a soapy sponge and a damp rag, I am also going to clean the hood of the the vent, basically. Um, so I'm working on one angle at a time. So I'm doing the right side first, then the front, and then the left side. And all I'm doing is wiping it down with a soapy sponge and then drying it with a wet, damp rag. Now, the metal, it's a metal hood, and it's either the coating, the paint, or it's the actual material that it's made out of. I haven't found a way to get it 100% beautifully clean looking. It collects the dust very quickly and it attracts dirt very, very fast. So for now, this is how I clean it. And when I come up with a better idea of how to clean it, hopefully it'll look nicer. But for now, this is what we're doing, and I'm happy with it. Okay, now we're going to get ready to do the bottom cabinets. And for that, we're going to start off with some warm water in here. Gonna add some cleaning solution to it. I got myself also 2 towels. One will be wet, one will be dry. And we're going to do sort of like we did up here with a sponge, but instead we're going to do it with 2 towels. That's enough water. But like I said, for this, I'm going to have one rag that I'm going to keep wet. I'm going to keep re-soaking it. And the other one will be dry that I'll go back with afterwards and wipe everything down and make sure that I got rid of any and all dirt and stains. So for the drawer fronts, I am wiping the top. I'm wiping the little handle that I have, the sides, the bottom, wherever, any surface area I'm trying to get clean. And the same thing for the cabinet fronts. I'm washing the fronts, the tops, and the bottom cabinets and drawers I'm treating differently than the top because, like I said, the top of the cabinet drawers, the top of the cabinet fronts and the drawer fronts, they can collect dirt and water stains and just any liquid stains a lot easier than the top because the top cabinets, especially the top of the top cabinets, it doesn't really get dirty. Um, so I'm wiping down all the sides of it. Okay, I'm gonna go around the island even though it doesn't have drawer fronts. And I'm just going to wipe it down as well. Actually, before I go there, the kick plates can probably use a cleaning too. And I actually decided to also do the kick plates. So I'm laying down on, basically laying down on the floor and rubbing that clean as well. This was a lot of work, but as you may have seen in the previous clip, when I was filling up the bucket of water, the kitchen just looks so much brighter now. Everything is reflecting so much more light. The backsplash is reflecting more light. The cabinet fronts are reflecting so much more light. So the more I'm cleaning, the brighter this kitchen gets. And by the time I finished, it was late at night, and I went straight to bed. I didn't end up cleaning the dishes, in all honesty. Um, but the next morning, when I walked into the kitchen, I was like, it felt so good. It was so bright and clean and fresh. It was so worth every minute that it took to do this deep clean, because it just felt so much better to walk into the kitchen and get working in there than it did when I had been there before this deep clean. When I got to the cabinet that houses the garbage can, I also took out the garbage bag, put in a new one, and I am wiping down that junk drawer front that is inside the cabinet to get that clean as well. And as I was doing this, I also realized that probably the bottom of this drawer is also dirty. So I pulled out the garbage can and I got in there and I wiped down that top as well. And it was actually really, really dirty, really necessary to clean that. So I'm happy I did that as well. I am also cleaning the underside of the cabinets. I'm using the um, cleaning solution that I made with the warm water, and I am wiping down the front of that strip of lights, the back of the strip of lights, the strip light itself. Everything is getting a nice wipe down, and I'm telling you, the brightness in this kitchen is just completely different than it was just an hour before this. It is insane, the transformation. And next, I'm moving on to removing the sticky residue on the oven front that those stickers left. And first thing I'm doing is I'm getting some glue gun onto a paper towel and I am rubbing it off. But because these stickers were really tough to remove, they weren't that sticky. They were just they just left a really bad residue on the glass. I took out a little scraper that I have, like a plastic scraper, so it wouldn't scratch this glass. And with the glue gun residue on the glass, using that scraper, it came off beautifully. And then I would wipe it down again one more time with the glue gun paper towel, and then it all came off beautifully. It is like there's nothing left on there right now. Now I'm coming back in with a microfiber cloth that I have that cleans my stainless fridge. So I figured I'm going to use it over here too because it's also stainless and it's great for the glass as well. Where it comes in a pack of two, it has the microfiber and then I don't know what this one is that I'm using right here to wipe it down. So like the microfiber will do the cleaning and then the other part does the shining. And I'm doing this to on the glass to remove the oil residue from the glue gun, and I'm also doing it to remove any fingerprints on the stainless part of the oven because as this oven was being installed, I was focused also on getting it level, and we had to pull it out a few times, push it back in, check it, and so there's a lot of fingerprints on it. So I'm cleaning the whole thing to get rid of all of that. I actually went on Amazon, and these are called e-cloth microfiber towels, and they have different colors for different materials. And the gray one is for stainless. And this has been working for me. I look back at the first set I got was in 2023. So it's almost 3 years that I've been using this, and it works great. Um, so while I have the wet microfiber towel, I'm also doing the fridge. And you'll see as I open up the door and I do the inside of it, like this section, I realized that my, what are they called? The shelves, baskets that are on the door, it's something that I don't clean on the regular. Like the shelves, I do more consistently, like the main part of the fridge. But these baskets on the door and the inside of the doors, I don't clean that often. So what I decided to do is that I pull out one basket at a time, empty it out, wipe it down. I wipe off all the containers or jars or bottles that I keep in them as I'm putting them back into the basket. Before I get those baskets back into the fridge, I wipe down the backside of the door and then I put it in, take out the next one. And like that, I'm gonna get the entire, it's not the entire fridge, the doors of the fridge inside and outside clean. So once I finish both sides of the inside, I'm going to come back to the second outside and I'm going to do the front of the freezer as well. Now, as for beautiful after shots, I do not have those because my kitchen is a working kitchen. And even though at the beginning of the video you saw that I washed a sink full of dishes, we've got dishes again. We've had this new oven already for, it's less than a week even. But I've done Shabbos cooking, I've done dinners, and yesterday we got a huge oil splatter as I was cooking some chicken. So I did wipe that down, but this is a working kitchen and it is never spotless clean. And this is the truth. There's always stuff in the sink, even a minute after I wash dishes. But it's good to have that nice, deep clean, that scrubbing that I did. It just feels so much better in here, so much brighter. So, looking forward to many more cooking adventures in here with you guys. If you want to see those, click subscribe, and I hope to see you then.